morning, everyone. In case it's not morning where you're at, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm your host, Anthony Longhair Leclair, and I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, the marvelous Marla the Mouse McHardy.
What's up, everybody?
And Mackenzie Drive, everybody.
You guys talk really fast.
I
don't know how this happens.
It's just the intro to get all that shit out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I slow down. I start Goldbluming after this. There it is.
Oh, and by the way, hi.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I threw that reel off.
Today, between plugging new teaser release from Mackenzie Drive and hopping into an interview, we're also going to do one of our separate podcast episodes. We're going to review a couple of songs, and today's special, we're not just doing one single or one, see, there's the Goldbluming, or one album from one artist. We're doing two individual singles from two individual artists.
Ooh. Exciting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, the first one we're going to jump into is a song by New York-born and Australia-bred Valencia James, who has a fucking gorgeous voice, in my opinion.
And she has a really cool name, too.
Yes, Valencia is a fantastic
is a
name. Which she is probably like, wow, I haven't heard that before. So regardless,
struggle is real.
Right. Regardless, we're going to hop into this track called Dreamers. She had released it previously just as studio version. It's out on Spotify. The links will be below so you can hear the difference between the two. I've opted to play what I think is the superior version, which is the live studio version. So it's just her sitting on a stool, one of the guys in the studio sitting out of Rhodes, and the other one behind on the pads for percussion. And I think it's a fucking awesome rendition, and we'll just dive straight in, and then we'll get to chatting, so you don't have to listen to my voice the whole time. That is Dreamers by Valencia James.
I quite like that. And I sort of agree with you on that because I had listened to the studio version of this song earlier with you, and I really enjoy this like stripped down version of it. Like it's I don't know, like I can listen to the lyrics more, I guess. I really like the song though. I really do.
Thoughts, opinions?
My opinion, you know, as an artist, and both of you are artists as well, I think sometimes when you, when it's a live studio version of it, as an artist, you kind of think, oh God, am I going to hit the right notes? Am I going to be able to bring justice to this acoustic version of the song that's different than what you do when you are in the studio? And she's got a great tone to her voice, and I think she really pulled it off. The runs that she has going on in the chorus are fantastic. Yeah. You know, it's almost envious, I feel. And I'm looking at the picture on the screen as well of her in the studio, and she's quite beautiful as well.
Yeah, I did a written review of this morning actually, and compared and contrasted the two versions. What I want to say about this video, and I just have to reiterate it again here on the podcast, because so you see how the pop screen is in front of her face there. Majority of the video is like you see her eyes, and so it's like a pop screen with eyes. And it drives me fucking off the wall because I want to see what. And I mentioned this again in the review because as a singer myself, I want to see how she's manipulating her words with her mouth. I want to see that what's happening here, right? But I also have a feeling other people, for whatever reasons, and I'm sure they're varied, want to see her. I mean. So that's one thing that, unless she's doing like a Sia thing where she's putting her hair in front of her face and turning her back to the audience so no one can fucking see her. But I don't believe that's what she's doing here. I just think this is the video that was shot, and then I don't know if they even thought about the fact that you can't really see her face.
I feel like there's a vulnerability to it that was very pretty.
Very
captivating is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's so stripped down. Like it's just that Rhodes keys sound, right, and then the drum pads in the back, and then her voice.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said for like I do enjoy when people put that like production into it, and you have all the synth in the background and stuff, and I can really get behind that too. But also at the same time, like there's really something to be said for taking, like having stripped down versions of your songs. You know what I mean?
And I totally agree, because I think you know, when you're a songwriter, you write these songs and they're coming from your heart. It's an experience that you've experienced, right? It's something that you have gone through in your life. You're pretty much writing it into a diary, which then becomes a song. So sometimes it's easy to get into the studio and hide behind the synth and hide behind the dancing and hide behind everything. But because then you can kind of forget about it because it becomes a whole different song. But when you strip it away and it's just you with, you know, just you live with nothing, then you actually have to relive that vulnerability and that I don't know what word I'm looking for, but you have to relive that, and I think that's what captivates people, is when you have the big song and then you strip it down to make people realize, or for people to actually hear what the lyrics are saying.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting because it made me think. So, like, an interesting example of that, I guess, is there's an artist that I listen to. I don't know if you ever heard any Gabrielle Aplin at all. If you listened to her, I think I've showed you her music before.
Oh,
but she's a British musician, and a lot of her stuff, like, she started off more acoustic, but as like her more recent stuff is like going towards like more the poppier, synthier kind of route, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But she's got this song called "Waking Up Slow," and she has two versions of it. She has her synthy, poppy version of it, and then she has a stripped down version of it that's just her and the piano, and I fucking love it. It's because it's just like it just gives me the chills.
Yeah, I mean, and so it's funny. It's just like, yeah, you know, you're also into the songs that have the synth and all that electronic work onto it, and I mean it's probably a good thing that you do, because we're going to be breaking into an interview with Mackenzie Drive later.
I'm far from acoustic,
which might happen to have some electronic instrumentation behind it, but also thanks to your wonderful composer, because Dana is fantastic.
He really is,
and it's really, so I know we shouldn't necessarily be getting into this here, but it's really interesting hearing the difference, the stuff that you're playing between when you guys started working together and now hearing the evolution of that. I'm amped about this.
There's
second
a super
one,
cool story behind it too,
which we will get into on not this episode.
No.
But we're going to get into it.
We're foreshadowing.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting...
Stay tuned, everybody.
Leading
Stay
people
tuned.
on.
First interview
Just
with clothes on.
stringing
That's-
along.
And then once the whiskey comes out... I wonder if Rob's going to... No, he won't. So that being said, I guess I should touch a bit on what this song's about. So it's called Dreamers, and it's all about a time where, according to Valencia James herself, it's all about a time that she was just rediscovering her own dreams and aspirations and realizing that she can break beyond all the shit that she's dealt with in order to move forward to try and achieve those things, which I feel like your initial album is sort of reminiscent of in that regard.
It's such a liberating feeling to be able to do that.
Yeah. So this song, in a lot of ways, was, as you say, that diary entry of this is me moving, like this is what's going on. Now I know I can move forward. And then her also putting that out to the world to try and help other people move forward. So,
but you can also hear the pain in her voice, and I like that. I think that's a real talent to have, is to be able to share that. Because it's one thing to write a song, but to be able to share that emotion in your vocals and in the picture that you create, the image that you create in those songs. And I think she did a really good job doing that.
Yeah, there's a clear vulnerability and pain with it, and it's... Yeah. So, that being said, the next one we're going to hop into, the second single here is London-based Gorran, whose song I Don't Love You Anymore is what we're going to dig into here. So let's check that out.
Hold me tight and don't let go. You'll be fighting on your own. Even though you're always here, I feel alone. You should watch how much you think and get a grip before you sink. I won't take it anymore, I'm on the brink. I don't mind you here, but you'll find it's clear I don't love you anymore. What are you still trying for? I don't wanna think about it like we used to. Said too much, oh well, we're just out of luck. I don't wanna think about it like we used to. I don't wanna think about it like we used to. What is happening to me? I don't know if you can see. Maybe if you just have starts and let me speak. Take a moment and relax. Let's try sticking to the facts. Honey, you and I were different after that. I don't mind you here, but you'll find it's clear I don't love you anymore. What are you still trying for? I don't wanna think about it like we used to. Maybe we both said too much, oh well, we're just out of luck. I don't wanna think about it like we enough isn't love. Oh, oh, oh. I don't love you anymore. What are you still trying for? I don't wanna think about it like we used to. Maybe we both said too much. Or were we just out of luck? I don't wanna think about it like we used to. I don't wanna think about it like we used to.
'Cause I Don't Love You Anymore by Gorran.
I sure hope he's not singing that song to me. Oof.
I quite love that song.
Yeah.
I really do.
I'm a little blushy about that. He's hot.
I thought your whole goal was to get me to blush tonight, and you're already on the
You
way.
never told me there was a hot Brit who could actually sing really well.
Yeah, this guy's got serious pipes though.
Oof.
Yeah,
Like,
and
oh my god.
yeah, and well, you're making the smoking comment while we were
Yeah.
listening to the song.
Yes, yes, because when I was younger, I started smoking because I wanted to have that rasp. And when I hear it in somebody else's voice, especially in a guy, it's like, Jesus.
You like having that little burn right
I
about
do.
here. when
Nice
you-
little
yeah.
like raspy rasp going
Yeah,
on there.
and the
yeah.
only other person who really makes that, like, who, for me, does that for me, like, does
Bryan
that
Adams.
whole, like, no pink, oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god, that sexy
Yeah.
smoker
Yeah,
rasp. That is
yeah,
She
yeah,
does have a
yeah.
fantastic rasp.
She really has that, absolutely, yeah. Also, I gotta say, the lyrics of the song are fantastic,
Yeah.
and they make me really sad, but, like, in a good way, because, like, I can relate. I've fucking been there, man. I have, and it sucks. And there's, like, you're sitting there, and you're in a relationship, and you don't feel this way about this person anymore, but they still really love you, and it fucking sucks. And it's like, you'll do anything to sit there, and I sat there trying to find music. I'm like, no one understands. I'm just listening to music where everyone else is, like, falling out of love with the person who's singing about the song. And then I'm like, oh, there's a song here that's, like, this person knows what I'm going through.
Right.
You know? It's, I really like that.
Well, and I feel sometimes...
So, I
sorry.
feel you, man. I really do.
I do too, hey.
Or you'd like to.
I would like to.
Oh, let's pause for the ambulance.
That's for me. My heart stopped.
They're coming to take you away.
My heart is stopped. But no, it's very true, and I can totally relate to how you feel in what you were saying in that as well, because, you know, when you're stuck in a relationship and things are going to crap, and you feel like there's no way out because, let's say, you own a house and a car, and you're stuck with this person, and you realize that it's really not working out, and there's nothing, and, you know, sometimes music is that only outlet, and you can really hear that in this song.
Absolutely you can, yeah. And it's like, you know, also there's that whole thing where it's like, I don't mind you here. Like, you know, I still enjoy you as a person.
Right.
I just don't feel the way that I used to. Yeah. Man, that's some shit right there. That's some shit.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
hey, if you're listening and you want to come to Canada, I'm totally cool with that.
So, shout out to Gorran. Come on over and visit the great buzzing metropolis of North Bay, and we'll get you a gig out here.
Yeah. You can come be on our podcast, too.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, so I don't love you anymore, Gorran. I mean, I don't mean that I don't love you anymore, Gorran. I just mean to say.
Well, I'm saying I don't love you anymore, Anthony. I'm going for him. Sorry, man.
I mean, he's younger. He's got a better head of hair. He's, you know, I mean, he's got the rasp you're looking for. You know, I get it. It's fine.
Okay.
But Rob will be here shortly.
Well, that could change things too. Whatever. Jesus, I have so many options.
Yeah, life's tough, eh?
It's a hard life to live.
Yeah, especially in the situation of this song. Life can be quite tough. Let's bring that back around.
Yeah,
shall
but
we?
I got so off topic of talking.
No. I mean, when I was doing the written review of this, I was also going over my own experience of understanding that shit. So it's interesting that you both just like, oh yeah, well that, or like say, well this happens and you have this, and it's, we've all been there.
Well, relationships are such a crazy, emotions are high, everything's high. You're getting to know somebody else, and you know, it could happen 1 year into the relationship. It could happen 10 years into the relationship where you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't love you.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a really shitty realization to have.
It is, and it sucks because it's like, oh, there's nothing I can really do about this.
Right.
Like,
but the coolest thing about it, being as a songwriter, and I think I give him kudos for this, is that to be able to have 3 people listen to the song, and some of us, like for me, for the first time to listen to it, and to be able to spark that emotion in somebody who has never heard the song and this is the first time. Clearly, he's got good quality lyrics to make somebody listen to it for the first time and hear the lyrics and not the music behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had done a previous review of this song, which didn't get posted, largely because parties involved reviewing it were not fully comfortable about how it went, and then also just because the mic setup I had at the time, there's a loose cable and the mic was fucking up, so it was getting like a and some of the stuff which I didn't hear until playback, which really sucked. But it's great because then I got a hold of the Valencia James single, and it just seemed to work to have these 2 opposing themes on 2 very heartbreakingly beautiful songs,
but on 2 different aspects of the heartbreak scale. Hers was very pulled back and acoustic. His was very obviously production.
Yeah, exactly.
But his runs and his rasp and just the whole, it almost, to me, it was very similar to the emotion that you would feel when you listen to a Sam Smith song or an Adele song.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was almost even thinking like Troye Sivan too, like that sort of, like with the synth in there as well, kind of made me think of Troye Sivan and his music.
Yeah. But when we were doing the previous review of this, during us listening to the song, one of the guys who was reviewing was just like, he was basically saying it's so unoriginal, and which, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so I get it. And I mean, I'm still trying to get a handle of his musical taste, because some of the stuff that I'm like, well, yeah, but that's this band. So I feel like there's already a band or a group who's done this one thing, so try and be original, which is really hard to do after, how many decades of rock and roll have there been now?
But, and that's the thing. And this is a huge passion of mine when people say, you have to be original. You have to be original. I wouldn't be here today as a musician if it wasn't that I was inspired, if I wasn't inspired by the artists, the pop artists that came before me.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, being inspired by other people's music.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, there was a time where I had performed, and I had this one certain costume that I had performed in. It was the first time I ever performed. And then 6 months later, I performed again, and somebody who was also performing at the same event had the exact same costume as I did. And for a second, I was kind of like, "What the hell is going on?" Like, not like the same costume that I wore in the first performance that I had. It was almost like they were inspired by what I was wearing. And at first, I was kind of taken back, like, "Oh my God, they're copying me." But then you realize that the inspiration behind it is something that you've done that inspired them to take that on. So, I mean, original or not, there's really no original music out there anymore. People are inspired by other musicians, inspired by other people, and then you take on that, and then you try it yourself, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's all about inspiring each other to work as a team to create music, I feel. That's just my opinion about it.
I tend to agree with you, absolutely. I think a lot of people pull influences from many different artists, and I don't think there's a problem with that.
I don't think so either. I mean, if you're going to plagiarize the song, absolutely, but not if it's...
Rob's about to walk in. He's already turned the handle. Mr. Rob, for fuck's sake, I'm just trying to teach you theater, McCubbin. Welcome to the podcast.
I thought you guys were recording, so I didn't want
You were. I heard you come in, and I thought that you had heard as well. And
Do you want me to lock the door?
If you could, that'd be amazing, because I don't want someone else randomly walking.
Are we cutting this part?
No, that's fine. We can keep it. It'll be amusing.
I was holding in a cough.
Oh, well, I'll cut the cough out.
Oh, you don't have to cut the cough. I mean, really, I don't care.
The price you pay for the grain in your voice.
I know the price I pay for looking at that hunk over there. Jesus.
This guy, not you.
Yeah.
Well,
He already talked
How
about
are
you.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Don't hit the mic! Oh, like you just did.
I tried not
You
to.
did not.
Did you make an effort not to hit it?
Have a seat.
What are we listening to, Gorran?
We just did, and we listened to a single before that. I don't know how well you recall the song by Gorran.
Yes, I certainly do.
Oh well, feel free to give your
No,
re-commentary
it's
if you
okay.
wish.
I gave my commentary last time.
Okay, well, yeah,
What
but
was that?
that episode's not going to probably air because we have it on this one,
Oh, all right.
and just because this actually has like the solid quality and not the on there.
I said I liked the song. It was very much I got a sort of a Shawn Mendes kind of feel from it. But I felt that his voice was great. But I felt that overall it was pretty pedestrian in that there was nothing overly interesting about it for me. I liked his voice a lot.
You're gonna be the Simon Cowell of this.
That's me.
Yeah,
Well, typically that's
definitely.
Andy. I mean, so at least in that episode when we were covering it, when we were recording that was Andy. I was just going back over some of the stuff that he said, and it was just about like how it was seemingly unoriginal in comparison because there are other people who've done it before, and then we were talking about, well, yeah, but that's what inspires us. And in my mind, someone could have done it before, but if you're going to show up and do it better, then like I don't know. I wouldn't be able to think of a song that's like. I'm sure there are thousands of them, but I can't offhand think of one because it's not really my wheelhouse in terms of music. But
It's mine. He can sing to me any day.
so okay, but so name me a song that came out in the past 10 years that's like this.
That's similar to this one.
Yeah.
Who did Beautiful? Who did that?
Oh,
James Blunt.
James Blunt.
I'd argue this is a better song. So that's so.
I would say so.
Lyrically or musically?
Well, I
His vocals.
Because lyrically, again, what I remember of it wasn't anything that, like, it did touch me
yeah.
because of its content, but it wasn't overly sophisticated in terms of its imagery.
No, I don't.
I
don't suppose it's meant to be.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
it
it's,
probably isn't.
because it's a straightforward story of how literally he doesn't love someone anymore, right? I mean, it's as simple as it gets. I mean, people.
I do remember what Andy said, and I liked his comment when he said, "If this has its emotional core is based on the narrative of this man's real life, the music does not have that same evocative emotional context that the lyrics do. The music is not as creative." Sorry, he didn't use the word creative. I remember Andy was talking about the idea of, you can break me with the lyrics, but if the music is the same, then where is that gut in that sort of, like I said, the emotional core? And it's interesting because I can't remember what we were talking about when he was here, but it was that idea of like, I was just listening to, and I don't know what you think, but it seems like something you would like. No, I'm not kidding, because I know what she likes. I was listening to this morning while working on Strange, Kate Bush.
Oh yeah.
And you listen to a song like This Woman's Work. It breaks. It's in the soul of the music, right? And you hear it, and when I heard this song, I heard it in his voice. I didn't hear it in the music.
So that's what I was about to ask. I was going to say, do you hear it when you say music? Do you mean the instrumentation, or do you mean
Instrumentation?
Okay,
That is what I mean.
I was going to say,
Yes.
because in his voice, I fucking hear
Yeah.
what he's singing,
Totally.
and I hear the meaning of
Totally
it too.
that. And I just wish the music would lend its, like, the instrumentation without the click track, without the without that kind of stuff, because it could be. as inventive as the like sort of the evocative nature of the lyrics and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive you said that. You were the one who said something about you weren't big on the click track.
Oh yeah, anytime there's synth that like on a ballad like that, I'm gonna likely be like, it's already a ballad. Just strip it down. So we did play a song just before this. It was another single that is, I think, quite fabulous from an Australian musician, and she has like a studio version and like a live studio version. And the live studio version, I think, is far superior because it is just two other musicians and she's sitting on a stool just singing, and it's like, it's farther
the
pulled back. Yeah, like if you're gonna have a big production, then go big, sure, and then like hit the beats out and get all that synth going and get it rocking. But you don't need all that. Or if you do need it, then you really need it. When there should be some like Howard Shore shit going on there with like some. There's a string section at the end of this song, but it's also very, very subdued in the mix of everything else. And if there was more of that, if that was done with like an orchestra.
Remember when we were here last year, and remember what's his face and his father recorded that song. We watched it where they're sitting at the piano.
Oh, yeah. What's his face?
Yeah, but what's his name?
What's his fuck face?
Andrea Bocelli.
Andrea Bocelli,
and his son, yeah. Yeah.
And there's a simplicity, and yet vocally, which this guy has. This Gorran guy has the pipes. So, I mean, how cool would that, right? Be, working with, like you said, a symphony orchestra or something like that, and maybe he will.
I could see him getting to that point.
Yeah.
Do we know the background of this song? Was this his first single? Was it like his second? Was this part of like? Has he been doing this for years?
It's not his first single. He's been performing for a few years now. He's when I was the EPK I was sent is viral Brit grad is how this was pitched to me, right? So he's a graduate of the Brit School, which is like the big music-y thing where Amy Winehouse went and Adele went, and
Adele came from,
so he before that, I believe it says here, so he's released a bunch of previous singles. I don't think he has a full album out yet, but he's released a bunch of previous singles that in like a manner of only a couple of weeks have hit like 100,000 plus listens, and so he's.
I can see why, that's for sure.
Well,
fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess he's fairly new on the pro scene or whatever, but he's not by any stretch of the imagination an amateur or like a new musician, right? Like he's gone to school for this and is now just like so he's pushing out that way. So yeah, I mean, and apparently he was performing when he was 12. So, I mean, that's a lot of musician stories, though. I mean, some people are really shit when they're 12, though, and then they.
He's the Nick Bogle of the Brit School, right? That kind of.
How old is Nick now?
Nick is would he be 19 or 20? 19? Yeah, 19 or 20. Yeah.
Man, I remember when he was this tall doing theater.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
All right, we're getting way off topic, though. With that.
Oh, we never do that.
We never get off topic.
No.
But
I would never want to be a star or be in music at that young of an age.
Yeah, well, then you go the road.
I thought you were going to say I would never want to be a star on this program with us reviewing your work.
You can review my stuff. I don't care.
Well, we're about to. We're going to finish it off. We're going to
absolutely. You can review my stuff. I don't. I have nothing to hide.
Well, it's perfect because we're going to sign off from this episode and we're going to jump right into. I don't know if we'll grab a drink there for Robert if you want or whatever, and then we'll hop right into your music.
Yeah, we'll cut that part from it too.
Part? I don't know what you meant.
I wondered when you said that actually whether that was
well, you know what, they know. It's just they don't
want to broadcast.
They're very, very against
to our 7 listeners.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's 9 now. Did you know?
Okay.
No. So
more.
just 9 subscribers. It's like 400 downloads. I have no idea where we're at now. I don't even. Every time I post a new episode, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I just keep going.
Let's put a picture of you naked on the cover.
There you go.
No comment?
What's the story with that? That's like a t-shirt of my thermostat company.
What are you talking
We are
about?
getting so off topic. Can we sign off from this fucking thing before we go on?
Yeah. Because the audience can't see what I'm pointing at right now.
That's right. I'm wearing an Ecobee t-shirt that Rob is severely confused about.
'Cause I was just trying to fix my furnace at home. That's why.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, anyway, so we're going to bugger off from this episode and we're going to jump straight into yours. And after a brief break for fresh air and drinks, and then we'll be back.
Swept Media. Get swept up in today's independent music.
We won't be back to them because they'll have no idea. They'll be listening to a new episode.
Exactly. Which is why we probably edit this piece as well.
No, I always put the shit in because it's funny, and then it ends up after the
Blooper?
after the final. Yeah, typically after the outro, I just throw in all the funny shit, but minus the comment about you. Oops. All right.